Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk Eurovision recaps, Eurovision news and all of that. I have not done a Eurovision recap in a while, so we have a little bit to talk about. But before we get into the big story of this video, let's talk a little bit about the fact that we have the participation list for this next year's Eurovision has grown. We have at least, well, I know, 25 countries that want to participate for next year, so that's nice. And I'm gonna say there are several countries I'll be like, I hope they come back. Like Armenia, where is Iceland? There are several countries here that I want to be here, but who knows? Estonia, where's Estonia? And yeah, there are several countries here. I think we're gonna at least have over 30 countries in the finals. I hope we have at least 30 countries that will be in the next year's Eurovision. And we still don't know who is gonna host this. But I think when I put on the list that who would you rather want? Do you rather want Basel or Geneva? But many people want Geneva because when you look how the cities are located, they are very close to the borders to either Germany or France. So I think many people wanted one of those cities because then you can be in another country, because Switzerland is expensive. So many people want Geneva to be the host city. Who knows? Anyway, let's talk some news. Yes, let's continue on, and let's talk about Kosovo, because according to EurovisionVoy.com, Kosovo has been rejected to participate in Eurovision 2025. Let's read together, shall we? Kosovan local media is reporting that Kosovo will not be allowed to participate in the Eurovision Song Contest 2025 in Switzerland. Local outlet Seri is reporting that the European Broadcasting Union (EBU) rejected Kosovo's request to compete at their General Assembly held in Cyprus this July. Gosh, I have not read so much words in a long time. Not only that, they also report that next year's RTK Song Festival, which would have been Kosovo's national selection for Eurovision, could be cancelled. Oh, that's sad. But anyway, let's move on. According to the outlet, Kosovo's application has been rejected because the EBU are asking that the Kosovo's broadcaster RTK apply to become full members of the organization before applying to compete at Eurovision, which would make sense because you need to be full members before you compete in the contest. But let's move on. The executive supervisor of the Eurovision Song Contest, Martin Österdahl, which everyone loves, confirmed this stance when responding to a request for comment. And here's the comment. Oh, far away. I went too far. When it comes to EBU membership, which is prerequisite, or is there like a demand for a participation in the Eurovision Song Contest song, I have to refer you back to RTK, as it is up to them to comment on the application process and not me. Sure, they have to apply in the correct way. The news of Kosovo's rejection from Eurovision 2025 will come as a disappointment to the state, which has been keen to compete at the contest for many years. Kosovo, Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, we have several countries that be like, when are you going to compete? In May, Kosovo's public broadcaster RTK stated that they are ready to compete at the Eurovision next year, but you're not full membership yet, darling. And in June, the broadcaster submitted a formal request for an invitation to compete at Eurovision from the European Broadcasting Union, sort of like Australia did in 2015. But Kosovo asked to be invited by the EBU to compete at the contest as RTK does not hold full EBU membership. Instead, they hope to enter Eurovision in a similar way like how Australia were invited to compete in 2015. Australia competes at the contest despite the broadcaster SBS only being an associate member of the EBU. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. This was a long article. RTK and Kosovo currently have a special agreement with the EBU, but this does not allow them to apply for Eurovision participation in the same ways as a member broadcasters do. This year, the country took its biggest step towards its goal yet by staging the first RTK Song Festival to showcase the Kosovan music industry. RTK's management had already stated that they intended for this to be the national selection method for Eurovision. I mean, okay, but you have everything set, but you need the membership first. However, Steri also reported that Kosovo's rejection for Eurovision has placed next year's RTK Song Festival into doubt. I mean, why? Because you can have a big song festival like the Sanremo Festival in Italy. You can have that one, and it becomes its own thing. And when you are ready to compete in Eurovision, you have everything set. The outlet said that the uncertainty around the contest is down to developing dramas at the broadcaster. Yeah, I get it. Let's see here. Kosovo's international status is disputed, and other countries in the former Yugoslavia claimed that the territory that the country occupies should be theirs. Yeah, Kosovo is a very tricky situation. As a result, Kosovo has found it difficult to gain international recognition in the same way other European nations do. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult. This has resulted in Kosovo not only be recognized as a country by some other nations, including many of the surrounding region, which have claims on the territory. As many of those countries broadcasted a full membership, this makes Kosovo joining the organization political challenging. Yeah, I'm gonna say Kosovo, it is little, yeah, this is a very tricky situation because, yeah, it is a little bit weird if you're gonna compete in a contest when your neighbors doesn't even recognize you as a country. It's very tricky, and unfortunately Kosovo has that against them. And also, you want to be part of Eurovision, then you have to have the full membership. I think it will. I can already see the backlash from all the former Yugoslavia countries if Kosovo is allowed to be in the contest. I can see the backlash already. Are you ready to talk about the big story about Joost Klein? Let's talk. And also from the same source. The Netherlands Joost Klein investigation closed by Swedish police. God. Yes, it is closed. Anyway, he looks so happy in that outfit. Yeah. The public prosecutor's office in Malmö has closed the investigation. I mean, the thing is that before we even go further into this, because I have not read this article yet, maybe I should have done that in the beginning, before this. The thing is that because I know some people are saying that he was robbed and he was disqualified for nothing. But the thing is that, what if he was guilty? The thing is that for me, with this is like a losing situation despite how you look at it. Because let's say this happened, they allowed him to compete, he won, and then he's found guilty. That is a bad look on EBU. But now this thing happened, he was disqualified, and now he is found. They have closed the case. So it was a very losing situation despite how it went. So yeah. Anywho, the public The public prosecutor's office in Malmö has closed an investigation into the incident involving Joost Klein at Eurovision 2024 without pressing charges. At the contest last May, yeah, it is only a few months ago, but it feels like years ago, Joost was disqualified after a backstage incident. I mean, yeah, this year was so weird also, and I think the EBU was under a lot of stress because the Israel-Palestine was a big deal, and I think they were under, I mean, I don't know how many millions the Swedish police spent on security. It looked like a fortress down there when you saw the photos, and when people say, you know, don't come. I mean, I know someone on a live stream who told me that I know someone who's, I said, I know someone who's going to go down there, and they were like, yeah, don't tell them to come. I think this year, this was like too much. This was like what, this was so much. Anyway, at the contest last May, Joost was disqualified after a backstage incident. Reports suggest that Joost has made threatening acts towards a female photographer, leading him and the Netherlands being removed from the competition. And the weird thing is, if this was not a fan favorite, I think no one would care. If this was someone who was a little bit, you know, not the big fan favorite, I think the Eurovision fandom would not care at all. At all. If this was like someone who will end up in the bottom 5. But this was a fan favorite, so I think that's why people actually were outraged, because this was such a fan favorite, and I still love that song. Anyway, the preliminary investigation into Joost's actions has now been closed. Fredrik Jönsson, a senior prosecutor in Malmö, says that the reason the investigation was dropped is because the investigation cannot prove Joost's action had intentions of being threatening. Yeah, I'm gonna say it was a very stressful situation, and yeah. And he stated in the quote, "Today I have closed the investigation because I cannot prove that the deed was capable of causing serious fear of the man or that the man had such intention." I don't think he was actually intending. I think it was so much stress and I think it was a mix of stress, emotions and everything, and then you combine that with so many people, you know. I think it was too much, and he just bursted out something. As a result, no charge will be pressed against Joost Klein over the incident. I mean, I said it in videos months ago. I think the worst thing that can happen to him was a fine. I don't think he would get jail time for this. I said a fine. That was the worst thing that can happen. And anyway, Klein has responded to the outcome of the investigation, telling the AMP that he was incredibly happy and relieved. I mean, I think if EBU wants to save face, I think they should guarantee the Netherlands a spot in the finals next year. To like, here's our present to you. Sorry for what happened. We are very sorry for what happened, but you have a spot in the finals. You have a spot in the finals guaranteed. If you want to compete next year, I think that's the only thing they can do to save face. They're gonna be like, the Netherlands are already in finals. Swedish newspaper Aftonbladet, citing information given to the outlet, said that Joost admitted after the incident that he lunged at the photographer with his fist. However, according to people backstage, he expressed remorse and apologized several times for what that had happened. And I mean, the thing is that this is such a he said, she said thing, because do we have any recordings on this? In the wake of the Netherlands disqualification, its broadcaster Agianst said at the time it found the penalty very heavily and disapproved. I'm gonna say they didn't like it. Following the contest, the broadcaster have not committed to returning to Eurovision 2025, said that they needed to see evidence of structural adjustments of the contest is organized before they will officially return to the competition. Following today's news, Agianst has released a statement to fellow Dutch broadcaster RTL, acknowledging the end of the investigation. In the statement, the broadcaster reiterates and that they believe Joyce's disqualification was disappropriate. I hate these words. Okay, they didn't like the disqualification. And the result of the investigation means it appears to be. And let's see here. We have also learned that the criminal investigation against Joost Klein by the Swedish Public Prosecution Service has been discontinued because there is no evidence of criminal conduct. From the beginning, we have said that this disqualification was unnecessary and disproportionate, and that is now what it appears to be. But like I said, I think the EBU and Eurovision season and the police was under so much stress this whole Eurovision season. This was Eurovision season no one wanted, because I mean, you have to also count in the security and all the surrounding drama. Should Israel be allowed to compete or not? And then you have this. I think this, if the Israel drama was not here, I think this will be handled in a different way. I mean, I think that it would. I think it would be handled in a different way if the Israel drama was not a part of the whole Eurovision season, because I think that took a toll on the whole Eurovision spirit, and it actually infected the whole thing and this whole security thing. Yeah, thanks Eurovision fandom who didn't stack up, actually didn't say anything to protect Inogolan. Let's see here what we have here. Agianst also says that they are deeply disappointed that Joyce's participation in Eurovision was brutally ended in this way. I mean, yeah, they say that they will not enter discussions with the European Broadcast Union over what they call their unjustified disqualification from the contest. I mean, just move on. Additionally, the broadcaster states that they have to speak about other issues which they have raised with the EBU but have received no response to. Oh Lord. We have also discussed all our other objections about the way things are going behind the scene at the Song Festival, which we previously sent in to the EBU in an extensive letter of objection, which have remained unanswered to date. Agianst's position is and remains that the Song Festival is about the artist and the musical message. The EBU has now the floor. But like I said, this year was so much different from every other year, because you have basically half the Europe demanding Israel should not be in the contest. So it was a little bit a weird year. The European this is a long video. The European Broadcasting Union EBU has also acknowledged the closure of the investigation in a statement published on the Eurovision website. The statement said that the EBU's decision to disqualify was made in the strict accordance with the Eurovision Song Contest rules and governance procedures. Furthermore, they claim that the Swedish police decision to close the case does not have any impact on our decision, which we stand by completely. I think it is this thing that, yeah, I think this year was so odd. Anyway, the full statement from Jean-Philippe de Tender, the EBU Deputy Director General and Director of Media, reads as follows. The EBU aims to ensure the Eurovision Song Contest is a show for everyone is a safe place for the staff, artists, guests and fans. Like all responsible employees, we do not tolerate inappropriate behavior and will always respond to any workplace issues that are reported to us. The decision to disqualify Mr. Klein from this year's event was made in strict accordance with EBU's rules and governance procedures and after an internal investigation. In parallel, the Swedish police decided to open a formal investigation into the conduct of Mr. Klein during the dress rehearsal, which we understand was closed today with further action. this was an investigation into whether a criminal act was committed or not, whether Mr. Klein behaved inappropriately and breached ECE Eurovision rules and procedures. This new development therefore does not have any impact of our decision, which we stand by completely. And as it stands, we don't know if the Netherlands will compete next year, but I think if Eurovision would save face, I think they should offer a spot in the finals directly to the Netherlands to be like, we are sorry for what happens. But the thing is that I think this was a little bit tricky because it was the fact the day before the finals, and I don't know if they did make the right choice or not, because what if he was guilty? I mean, that's the thing. What if he was guilty? He competed and did very well. That would be also bad luck for Eurovision. So this was a losing situation regardless the way you were looking at it, in my mind, but you may not agree. Anyway, that was all for today, and have a nice day. Bye. Oh hi, you're still here. I hope you have not forgotten to subscribe. So subscribe here and look for the recommended video over here, and end credit now. Bye.